Hi, hello, greetings, salutations, etc., etc. How are y'all doing? I'm here with Misaki Katanaka, the Oyabun, the leader of the 10 Thunders Crime Syndicate. And we painted her, most of her already. Hi, Flippo! So last stream, you could see me tilt a little bit when it came to painting this floral pattern on her kimono or dress robes. And I think we managed to do it decently. Like there's some intricate detail there, and my eyesight didn't really allow me to see it very well, like at first. But yeah, some quiet cussing and some patience. Like we skipped to some other areas and just painted everything else, and then went back to the difficult areas. So that's how I kind of approached that. Like I took a break from the frustrating bit and painting some stuff that I felt more confident painting. And the pattern right now is not perfect, but like I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty striking. It's a very challenging miniature to paint in some ways. Yeah, Kitty, we played a whole lot of catch earlier. Maybe you can play on your own now? No? Yeah, well, I'm working. Okay? Thank you. Well, the color choices are, well, it's basically box art, but yeah, there's still color choice involved, I guess. Like, we focused on, well, I like the contrast between a very cold black and a very warm yellow. And I think we're gonna go further with that and do her hair kind of like a bit of a bluish black, you know. Because I don't want to do the exact same black as her robes, because that would look boring and also a little weird. You want them to read as different materials. And we want some variation. And I don't want to do it more like warm. I think I want to do her hair even colder. And yeah, welcome Flipball and welcome Salty Seabass. I'm glad to see you here. Glad you like the black. That's Citadel Abaddon Black, Dark Reaper, Rust Gray, and Fenrisian Gray. And then I think maybe I did a little bit of a white. Or white plus Fenrisian Gray last layer. And yeah, I'm thinking we'll paint the kitty. It's not all about you all the time. I'm sorry about that. I'm thinking we'll paint the hair. And I'm thinking I'll mix some Macragge blue, again from Citadel, and some Abaddon black. To get a sort of a very cold dark gray. And we're gonna try to paint some hair that's even colder than her robes. This first layer might look a bit similar to the first ones of the robes, but I think we'll get to a The cat's ramming the table. I think we'll get to a colder black. And again, last time we spoke about how it's easy to make black look gray. She has some very strong opinions. Yeah, she's a little mad right now. It's easy to make black look a bit gray. And I mean, realistically, if you look at something that is black, then like if you snap a picture of it, take a photograph, it's most of it is gonna be like dark gray. I guess, in a way. But we don't, like, there are several different approaches to painting black. And I want to keep most of the area I'm painting like a pure black paint so that it doesn't read as, it doesn't come across as a drab color, you know. Might go back later with a little bit of black to like strengthen those shadows a bit, make them a bit wider. So I'm now I'm now highlighting this with mostly Macragge blue, just a tiny bit of black in there. I don't want it 100% pure Macragge blue, because I think that would just look a bit too anime for what I'm aiming at, you know. So, Salty Seabass and Flip Owl and other people in the chat, how are you doing today? I've been painting, playing catch with a cat, and listening to podcasts. Trying to decide what to listen to next as far as audiobooks are concerned. I've gone through June and June Messiah recently, and they've been interesting for sure. Don't think I'm gonna listen to the third Dune book right now, though. Maybe sometime in the future. But yeah, my roomie's a huge Dune fan, and I liked the film, so I thought, like, yeah, let's check out the books. See where all this came from. I'm not sure I love them, but they're certainly interesting. I think they're pretty good, though I don't think the author is the best at making you care about characters. Like, he's good at world building, and there's some crazy stuff. Intrigues and the visions are pretty cool, but like, I don't really care for the characters much. There's something missing there. Third one is bonkers in a way that you adore. It sounds promising. The word bonkers always... I always react to that word. Our family's first dog was called Bonkers. A golden retriever. A Dune audiobook recorded by David Lynch. That might be a tough listen. I've actually not seen the Lynch film. I think I want to do it. I want to watch it sometime. Okay, so with McCrag blue, tiny bit of black, and a little bit of white, we're further highlighting the hair. And when painting hair like this, I'm a little shaky in my hands now, I noticed, but that might be due to caffeine. If you got shaky hands sometimes, caffeine might be the culprit, unless you have a medical condition behind it. But yeah, when painting hair like this, imagine a kind of halo. Like a circle. And highlight it from above with that in mind. Whew, not super precise today, but we'll fix that. Oops, I should try and make sure that I don't cover the view with my fingers. Just tidying up some mistakes here with some black painting between these strands of hair. Like when painting hair, both in traditional like portrait painting and stuff and painting miniatures, you don't paint super fine strands of hair. You don't paint every hair, of course. You instead want to try and pick out like segments that kind of remind you of hair. Well, I mean, it's pretty realistic too. If you look at someone's hair, you're not gonna... Okay, I'm just hair-splaining right now. As a theme, today I have a bit of a bad hair day, but I didn't bother doing anything about it, so yeah. Let's just focus on Misaki's carefully combed and braided hair. And ignore mine. Yes, streaming is a good excuse to actually take care of your hair during a pandemic, though. Playword, also known as Kim, says, oh, the Lynch film is great because he had no interest in making a sci-fi movie, but was paid enough to make one. Yeah, he didn't like it that much, did he? Thanks, Flip. It's nice of you to say. Flip has painted some amazing Neverborn models. I don't know if did you show them off at a weird place or Discord? We have a Swedish Discord for like the Swedish East Coast Malifaux, and I've seen them there and got some very cool looking, wintry, very atmospheric Neverborn. I realized I kind of forgot about the front, her bangs. You don't have to, but I think you should show the world your really cool miniatures. If you wanna. Does Sweden have an East Coast West Coast rivalry? Not really. Well, maybe a little. There's like, guess you can kind of break it up into 4 different little metas. The largest one being in the north, around Umeå, and we've got some place in Skellefteå, I think. And generally, like the Umeå players tend to be really damn good at the game. A lot of crazy good players up there. Then we got a little West Coast meta in Gothenburg, which it was real tiny for a while, but now it's at least, now it's grown from tiny to small, I think. And we got a southern one around Malmö, and like an East Coast one with Norrköping and Linköping. There's some playing Stockholm too, but I think they mostly keep to themselves. I'm not sure. Yeah, so like a friend of mine, JKKB on Twitch, he appears on the channel at times in the chat. We thought maybe we'd do. We've joked about the idea of having like T-shirts and even sillier stuff like try to be a bit hip hop in a way that would embarrass everyone. Or just like band T-shirts, but it's Gothenburg Malifaux. Bad boys of the Swedish Malifaux community. I've done some teacher's temp work, and it's really fun when you realize that you're an embarrassing adult. I just love that. I guess maybe there's a little bit of a potential for a Sweden-Denmark rivalry. We've got some Danes who've been at tournaments in Malmö, but I don't think we've been as good at coming to them to play in Denmark. Really want to do that. Everything just feels a bit tricky with COVID. Managed to play 2 tournaments this fall. I'm really glad we could get those in. Maybe that the bangs are a bit too bright. Yeah, I really agree with you, Salty Sea Bass. Like, I don't have to be cool. If someone would ever think I'm cool, that's just a little bonus. But being uncool is also pretty fun. We're all nerds. Now I want to watch Napoleon Dynamite again. That's about cool. We need some Ligers and Malifaux. Maybe some more bow staff. Maybe a Napoleon Dynamite Gremlin. Okay, so that's the hair. Maybe do we want it bluer? Just gonna grab some crack blue, a little bit of water, and just paint that over the hair. Hello, Yuppie J. I'm thankful for your rescue. We are speaking about being an embarrassing adult and how nice it is to be uncool. It is a great movie. Really like it. I guess it doesn't hurt that I actually kind of like Yamiroquai too. So reapplying some bright white highlights there to the kind of halo of her hair. Like healthy hair is generally shiny. Unwashed hair can certainly also be shiny, of course, but hair that's healthy tends to be shiny. So highlighting it up to white is often a good idea. Someone's been out fighting a war and not having showered for ages, they'll probably be matted with dust and stuff. But this is a leader of the 10 Thunders. And while she's no stranger to combat, I'm sure she does have regular showers or baths. Yeah, sure. Now we kind of aim for that L'Oreal shine. See, that looks pretty good. Yeah. You should shower between the bloodbaths. It's the 10th underway. Could probably make some of these highlights a little thinner to make them look sharper. Blood rave. That sounds like a very Nephilim thing. Don't go blood raving, kids. That's dangerous stuff. I'm assuming. Okay, so she's got a hairband here. I think we'll pick that up with... I took some Mephiston red mixed with a little bit of black, and then mixed with a little bit less black. We're not going to highlight this very far, but I want a warm color to give like a small warm contrast against her hair. Yeah. Salty Seabass says, I often find myself awake at night thinking about the logistics of the blood rave from Blade. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I don't mean to kink shame anyone, but it doesn't seem super safe. Why would Yakunan? That's a guard bathroom. I'm confused. That's about that old mythological Buddhist figure that makes children put rocks in piles, right? By a river or something. Mean woman, that one. Not the nicest lady around. Why don't they want us to have showers? You think that's Ubuma? No, I think... Yeah. No, I'm thinking of Datsueba. For some reason, she forces people to pile rocks. She's like a Buddhist figure or something. The river Sansu. Okay, so... Need to... Guards the river in the underworld. Okay, yeah. Need to tidy up this eye a little bit. Yeah, I don't think there's a purpose with the rocks. I think she just... Oh. Ubuma likes rocks too. Okay, so I'm gonna start painting her neat face mask, and I'm gonna do that with Citadel Lead Belcher. Just like a dark steel color. Still think I need to neaten up her right eye a little bit more. Looks a little foggy. And her diadem? Yeah, I think they have showers in the or bath houses in the 10 Thunders that they can get to without getting any trouble from Kid Eye's lot. I think so. It's a very strange, specific piece of lore we're speaking about. Tempted to put some blue details on the model. Yeah, it's kind of what we subtly did with the hair. That's why I painted the hair kind of blue. But I wanted to be subtle. And it helps the yellow pop even more, but we don't, like, I don't want the yellow to be the main character here. I think you're onto something there. I think so. I heard Mei Feng also throws great sauna nights. Hi, Lord Orchard. Scared to paint them. Well, I'd say just dive in. Or jump in with both feet. Or whatever. Not every miniature needs to be perfect. And practice helps. But yeah, this one is a little difficult, I'd say. Maybe don't start with this one. Yeah, they're cannonball in. Yeah, a lot of them are like a little more delicate than what a lot of miniature painters are used to. Oh, you got the honeypot crew. Those are really cool. Love the new Lynch model. Now they're not too complicated, I guess. Actually, generally, Malifaux miniatures don't have, like, I think most people's frame of reference tends to be from the Warhammer games, and those models tends to have extreme amounts of details nowadays. Like, there's gotta be pouches and skulls and doodads and knives and guns and bottles, whatever, everywhere. Like, everything needs to be super, super, super detailed. And Malifaux miniatures are often a little bit more clean, with more, should I say it, more deliberate, more like you see the important details, and there's not as much clutter. Though the ones that do get paint are often, of course, smaller, since it's a more realistic scale. No cannons in Malifaux? Yeah, no, I don't know. There are Gatling guns, so surely there can be cannons. Cluttercore, now that's an expression. Yeah. I think there are a whole lot of very impressive Warhammer models, but sometimes the amount of clutter drives me crazy. It's just too much sometimes. Shading this dark iron with a little bit of black mixed with a little bit of blue. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a hand cannon for sure. Okay. Where did I put that brush? This one will do. Saldecibus says the Emperor has the same dress code as Shenanigans from Office Space. See, I love that film, but I don't recall Shenanigans. I don't remember. Great film, though. Oh, the restaurant. Right, where you need to have X amount of pieces of flour. Right, yeah. Adding some silver. And bringing out a tiny brush. Tricky thing with tiny brushes is, of course, that the paint dries very quickly, which can be very annoying. Then you can just lick your brush and you'll get metallic sparkles in your mouth, and that's great. Or you can use like a dampening pad or something. That would be the smart thing to do. And yeah, no, I'm not trying to say that the metal paints have actual metal, but yeah. If Seamus hid a gun in his hat, would that be his head cannon? Yeah, probably. Nifty. Anyone managed to get any games in? I tried Maxine's Tile the other day. I thought that was a whole lot of fun. My opponent didn't think so. Like Maxine's stat card, Maxine Monomaniacal. Difficult word to say. That is a stat card where you're like, what? Takes a little bit of a bit of time to wrap your head around it, but like when playing it, it kind of clicked into place kind of quickly. Like I'm sure there's a lot of nuance you can learn, but she was very much in like, oh right experience for me. Like, oh this is mean. Okay, maybe like a silver ring there. And yeah, she's Maxine Monomaniacal. She's got some pretty mean stuff going on. Kind of squishy. Yeah. Like, I think there's a bit of a design problem with the Explorer Society that a lot of the monsters are very squishy, and you feel like you need to take the emissary, which is, to be honest, probably a slightly broken model. Hoping to see maybe an emissary nerf, but then we got very squishy monsters in the faction, so it's a tricky one. Like it's a really cool faction, but if there's one thing doesn't quite hit the spot, then I think that's it. Like squishy monsters and a defensive support piece to those squishy monsters that is just too good. But there's so much cool stuff going on in Explorers faction. Salty Sea Bass. Last game I got to play, I tried out Post Nerf Summer, which is actually my first game ever playing Summer in 3rd edition, so I didn't really miss anything. Oh, that's nice. Did you have fun? What did you like about Summer? I've not faced M3 Summer yet. Actually, I've only faced other gremlins. I think he's kind of nearing completion. Hmm. Salty Seabass says it was a learning game, so I had fun. Definitely appreciated his flexibility, summoning models, and learned that he really needs to maintain a bubble to take advantage of his auras. Okay, cool. To each summer spread out more. Yeah. So a bit more of a bubble crew. I think Title Summer is more about spreading out, right? A lot of the titles, they have got some very large auras with some previously kind of unseen aura diameters. Like some have like aura 10, stuff like that, which at first glance can seem crazy. That's interesting. I don't remember thinking Summer and Second was OP, but like different metas and some people probably unlocked crazy stuff with monsters that maybe others didn't see. Okay, so I painted the base with Vallejo earth texture paint, and then I painted it black and a bit of a watered down black, so it doesn't cover all of the raised areas super well, but that's fine because we're gonna paint those with dry brushing. So I'm thinking I'm grabbing some iron oxide paint, some dark brown, and a worn out paintbrush, and we're doing a heavy dry brush of that across the black. Yeah, Biogremlins were certainly good. I agree. That was certainly strong. Last edition, you could shoot your own miniatures to more easily get blasts off. But you cannot do this in third edition. You will not generate any blasts if you shoot your own model, which made for some sad Somer Teeth Joneses and Rasputina and Sonia Creed. Might perhaps have been a bit of a strong way to get around the defenses of some of the models in the game. Blast is still really good, of course, for getting around certain types of defenses. But now you have to blast off other enemies. So I'm now dry brushing it with Steel Legion Drab. Gremlin damage output has certainly been scaled down, and I'm thankful for that. If you want to, you can dry brush a little bit of this on the robes too. I don't think I'm going to do that, but well, maybe a little bit. This can help. Well, it's both realistic, getting a little bit of dirt on there, but it can also help sort of tie the miniature into the environment of the little mini scene you're creating. Every base and miniature can be a tiny, simplified diorama, sort of. One-shotting McMorning with Francois, that it's a bit rough. Her Francois is still pretty damn good. So I'm now dry brushing it more lightly with some Rackar flesh. We don't want to do this too heavy or the ground will look very, very bright. Will look more like a beach. But that's not what I want to go for right now. Could also, it's nice to add some variation in the tones. So you can also grab like a warmer gray, like black mixed with some off-white, or if you got a warmer gray lying around, and just dry brush that in some places too to create some natural variation in the ground texture, which I feel adds some interest. Yeah, I think we're all thankful for that. Well, as non-gremlins at least. Okay, and now let's paint the actually no, let's put on the basing material and then paint the base rim. And yeah, so I'm gonna add a little bit of basing material. Do we want maybe some orange or yellow shrubbery? Yeah, I'm sucker for autumn colors and themes. It certainly does. Maybe some orangey shrubbery. And then let's locate the super glue. Whoop. Autumn themes might be symbolic. What do you think what symbolism are we going for? As the artist, you don't necessarily need to know this yourself. This is something the viewer can help with. Didn't I have a little grass stuffed here too? Prepared for just this. Where'd it go? Tiny things. Yeah, that works. Change, decay, death. Or, something simple as the fall of Misaki. Corny. But yeah, it can, it's pretty cool. You can certainly use basing to great effect to get across the mood you want, or help tell a story. That is true. Yeah. Her keyword being the lost blossom. And yeah, she's had her lost blossoms, and fall is inevitable. See ya, BJ. Nice to have you here. And with these basing materials, you often get a whole lot of the leaves falling off. And if you want, you can just, like now I just sprinkled them over the miniature, so they obviously won't stick. But you can glue them on. And that looks cool too for some fallen leaves. And if anyone's wondering, these are from Mini Natur and Queen Stuff World. So that looks pretty cool, I'd say. It really ties her into the environment with those warm leaves. It's a pretty simple base, but simple but effective, I'd say. Yeah. And the magical step, for a lot of miniature painters, painting the base rim, tidying it up at the end, it's kind of like almost ritualistic. It's where you finish your miniature and it all comes together. Like a clean base rim, like a nice border, or well, it's a frame really. It's just pretty satisfying. Paint this a little bit too watered down. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I agree. Cool. Glad you like it. And also welcome, Pellas, for anyone else really like this step, just painting the base rim. I just think it's very satisfying. Creating a seal between the worlds where the real world ends and the meaning begins. It's poetic. Misaki would be proud. And shaky camera. Oh, we have the finished miniature. Might need to touch up that eye once again, or the other eye actually. Like, I don't think I have a super. I need to maybe do a tiny black line between the eye and the cheek. Like eyeliner kind of. There we go. I like that better. Okay. Eyeliner is important for reducing glare. Yeah. One of the eyes looked a bit like she was staring scarily at us with very open eyes. So I'm thinking let's do a little break and I'll be back in 5 minutes or so. And we'll do a little bit of painting on some other miniature before starting on Ivan next week. Could maybe add a little bit of more shrubbery to this one. Shrubbery. Adding a little bit more. There's this thread kind of want to cut off though, because it's very long. Come on, knife, do your thing. There we go. Yeah, like that. Okay, so quick 5-minute break, and I'll see you guys very soon. Hello, Spiredine. I'm back with some iced coffee. Thank you. Need a little bit of energy. I didn't really have dinner, so had a quick snack and made some iced coffee. And yeah, now I'm back. Hi, Dumblock89. Nice seeing you here. How are you? Or I know you're pretty good. We spoke earlier. So we painted Misaki fractured. And it's pretty cool. Very autumny Misaki. It's her new title master, where she is more of a obey master, more of a control master. It's cool if you want to mix up her gameplay. And yeah, she's fallen to the Burning Man. And like, I really need to read that lore. I was super excited about the book, and then I read some, and then I don't know, fell into audiobook rhythm, and kind of forgot about my cool book. So I'm gonna bring out my cool new-ish, not so new anymore, Malifaux Burns book and read it. And music is control now. Yeah, kind of. Like, there are 2 ways to play each monster now. So you can mix their gameplay up to play them in different ways, like to adapt for different situations or enemies, or just to mix it up and have fun. And in a lot of the cases, there's merit to both of them. In some cases, people might argue that the new one is like busted, or there's no reason to use the old one, or the old one is busted, or there is no reason to use the new one. But yeah, like opinions about miniatures, there's going to be a lot of different ones. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. But we finished her, so I thought we'd where did I put that miniature? Did I bring the wrong one? No, there she is. So I finished this one on an earlier stream, which is kind of like, well, it's an Abyssal Terrors. It's counts as mature Nephilim. It's a mature Fishman, but we didn't finish the other one. So I thought we'd do that now, since we finished Misaki pretty early. Spartan says, I think for most part, the ones that aren't worth using, the old one, were pretty much not worth using before Burns either. That might be true. Bear in mind that we are now speaking from like a competitive sense, and like obviously all of the masters are worth using because they're fun, you know. My cat is now like, you've been on break now, surely you can play catch with me now. I already played catch. I already played catch, kitty. She thinks I'm boring. Okay, so with this fishy lady, we oh god, my palette is getting crowded. There's some space. We have not finished highlighting the green parts. So anyone who knows me knows I like painting blue greens a lot. So yeah, we got the last step in these greens was Cobalite green, and now I'm mixing Cobalite green and Sybarite green together. Spiridon says, except Nelly. Nelly's only worth being punched in the face. I love Nelly. But yeah, it's like some people might think Nelly are a little frustrating to play against. Spiridon hates Nelly, which is sad. I mean, Nelly stands up for important things such as free speech and checking your facts and truth in general. Nelly will leave no stone unturned in her stoic quest for the truth. You haters are powerless. In front of that, pious crusade of righteousness and justice. But yeah, you can do some mean things with Nelly, Alison Dade, a lawyer, and a guild mage. Good times, good times. Spiridon says, by checking your facts, do you mean checking that the guild thinks these facts are facts to release, or if it is time for alternate facts? Well, I sense Arcanist corruption in you, my dear friend. Trust in the guild. And trust in the Malifaux Tattler. They're a respected source of news. Actually, recently finished up my printing press, which is Nelly's Totem. I've had it like half painted for ages. And I mean for ages. It's been like 3 or 4 years or something. Oh no, they fired your doctor. Didn't he resign? I'm pretty sure he resigned. Potato. I think there's an important distinction to be made there, actually. And that actually, do you think, did they write about McMorney's heinous crimes against humanity and nature in the Malifaux or did they just cover it up? Do any of you know? Kind of feels like something they'd want to cover up. And when we are pro guild in this stream, that's kind of that's confused a viewer before. You were like, what do you mean they're good guys? But yeah, we're kind of joking. My morning title can't get here soon enough. Mackan, yeah. That's why I call him too. So Spiredine is Finnish and speaks both Finnish and Swedish. And Mackan, it means the sandwich in Swedish, but can also kind of be short for, well, someone with a name that it fits for, like Marcus, or kind of works with McMorning too. So yeah, we call him Makan. Some of us do. Some of us are perhaps less silly. So what does everyone have on their painting table right now? Or hobby table? It's really nice to have painting when it's dark inside. It's like you might be bored because of quarantine. At least you have your hobby. Twisted pre-built models. That sucks. What kind of some other companies' models? Can they be untwisted? Oh no. Yeah. That is annoying. Can they be untwisted with like hot water or Oh, I misunderstood. No, weird. No, you meant it is weird. I'm confused. The other side starter. That's a shame. I don't think mine were twisted. I think Sonia's legs were a little like they look a bit like Zeb McKay, if you know what I mean. But other than that, it's pretty nice. Zeb McCain, that was ages ago. Check that all the Gwyn hair is in the right place. Well, that doesn't sound like it might be a huge issue, though. My hair certainly isn't in the right place right now. I'm having a seriously bad hair day. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I can look over the miniatures. But yeah, that doesn't sound like something that customer service might can help with. You know, there was one little thing with my set, like it was all good, but the Black Joker, one of the decks, was a little like it has a little nick in it. But I decided not to contact customer service because I might just end up getting hit with import taxes for a replacement, and it's just a small thing. So I think I'll just leave it and be done with it. Though the card backs are really cool, so kind of want to sleeve them with clear ones. Not as clever. Sometimes you just want to paint. Sometimes you'll notice late, or you just want to paint your model anyway, and then you can get creative like that. And I mean, Gwyn, they're all pretty bent. Am I right? Aren't they? I agree. The decks are really cool. I like them more than the Cult of the Burning Man deck I got for that starter, for sure. Hello, Macbeth. How are you doing? We painted Misaki Fractured, and now we are painting. We're trying to finish up this second reef, not reef dweller, Abyssal Reaver. I used to be so good at remembering the names of units and stuff, but then for some reason with the Alt and nightmare stuff, I'm just bad. Getting old. Dumblock 89. Back in my day, we just had a colored deck for each of the original core factions, and that was it. Yeah. I played 2 of those until they broke. And now, because I didn't use sleeves back then, now I got one of those decks sleeved. Sorry, I just punched my camera, but I got an Outcast version of that original deck. I know there's an even older, I think, deck, but to me, it's kind of the original Malifaux deck. I'm glad I got it. I got it from a friend. They're nice. Every card is red. I'm sure it's still fine. You can still use those suits, different suits, man. Maybe you're just now learning to shuffle. Which of my decks do you have? I don't recall. I've done a few. I tend to use my Outcast Chibi Malifaux deck a lot, which I just made for me and a friend. All right, the companion deck, yeah. The Malifaux companion deck. Glad it's starting to behave. Also like to use that old school first edition deck though. So I do use that pretty often too. It's kind of fun just having different Fate decks and switching it up. Okay. See you around, mate. Anyone else have a favorite Fate deck? I love the old retro deck too, but I played that to death as well. Or kind of. I mean, it started to show, like the print started to chafe a little bit in some places. It wasn't super apparent, but like after lots and lots and lots of play, you got a little some wear and tear, which isn't strange. That was lots of play. I think I gave it to someone who didn't have a deck. Oh, different Malifaux places. That sounds cool. I wonder if I've seen it. I've got a rubbish visual memory, so maybe I have and I've forgotten. Like I can't see things in my head. I think I ranted about this at some point. Like I don't have can't really visualize in ways that other people seem to do. Thanks a lot, on construction. How are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna go over this with. Oh, nice. McBluff likes the generic M3 deck. That is a very good looking deck. I agree. There are some really good looking decks out there. Only confusing thing for me with that one is that the numbers, they're like big numbers, but they're like on the lower end of the card, which I'm not used to. But it's very good looking. Retro deck is good. It looked like I spit in my drink. That was a little ice cube. Didn't want the ice cube. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the fins with pure Sybarite green paint, which I think is a lovely paint. Retro deck. It's having a retro deck. Retro deck, yeah, it was beige and it was made from plastic. So like it was super slippery at first, and then after you played it for a while, it got less slippery. Cards were flying around like crazy in the beginning if you weren't too careful. Yeah, I love that deck. Hi, Viruk. Yeah, we finished Misaki, and I thought I'd wait with the other Hidden Allegiances miniatures till next stream. So I'm not starting a new miniature this stream. So I'm going back to fishing actually. So we finished Misaki, Fractured, and now we're back to fishing. Iconic one. Yeah, I think I know which one it is. It looks really good. This is Misaki Fractured. And next week I'll be painting the new English Ivan, which is gonna be fun. Might take a little bit longer than Misaki because of his like shadowy shield thingy special effect. Yeah, there are so many great decks out there, and I just think it's a lot of fun mixing it up, playing with different decks. Mix it up. It's a really bad cyberpunk reference that I kind of... Never mind. keep highlighting these spiny fins with Sybarite green, and then we're going to go over some very bright Ghost Blaster green highlights. I think last time I didn't find Ghost Blaster green. I just added white, and that's basically what it is. The objects in front of him, like the spell-like effect, yeah, it's summoning some sort of shield. Yeah, not this fish lady, but Ivan. Actually, I'm not entirely sure, but he's summoning some sort of metallic shield through his strange shadow magic or something. Maybe if we read about him, maybe there's some stuff in Mouth Burns that can clear up what it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. I've got a thing where I really love physical books, but I'm very bad at getting through physical books. And I should just try and make time now and then for reading for a while and Malphosaurus books. Because I mean, there's Breachside Broadcast, and I've listened to that, but it also feels a little sad to have physical books, to buy physical books, and then just never get through them. Need to find that peace, I guess. Like when I paint, I often listen to audiobooks, which is great. It's lovely having work where you can often also concentrate on a book, because I mean, if you read a lot of books, in some ways, I guess well, it's the old cliche, you live a richer life. You might not agree with this. And yeah, that's a lot of rambling. Under Construction says, I'm waiting on a Kickstarter. His physical books have been delayed, so they offered more minis if you didn't want to wait for the dead trees. Feel also for not taking the minis, but honestly, I have enough. But do you really? Yeah. I'm one of those people who got this thing this year where I'm under the illusion that I will paint more than I buy. And paint more of my own models than I buy models for myself. Commissions won't count, of course. Otherwise, I could just keep buying miniatures in crazy amounts. So far, I bought 0 miniatures. Well, I have bought a bunch of basing materials. But that doesn't count, does it? I might want to do a black crab shaman for these instead of a black blood shaman. Was Spiredine's idea, and I'm into it. 60 Victrix late Anglo-Saxon just because they were on sale. I have a problem. Well, they were on sale, so you basically made money, right? You saved money. I honestly pondered, like, maybe I should buy these miniatures because they'll be very quick to paint with my airbrush. Yeah. And one of the arguments I made for myself when starting Explore Society, which I just really wanted to start because they were really exciting new shiny stuff with awesome miniatures and really cool rules, was that, hey, I want to support Malifaux, I want to support Weird, my favorite game, I should support them, especially in trying times like these with COVID. I'm expert at making excuses to buy miniatures. Yeah, I heard that too. That you die if you end up with unpainted minis, or no, no unpainted minis. Wouldn't want that. They're basically insurance. So I guess you should keep miniatures somewhere else too in case of tragic events like a house fire. Okay, this runs the risk of turning really dark. Should we just store miniatures at friends' places? I wonder what to do about, like, that rotten Nephilim miniature for this crew. You know, the undead Nephilim that you get from the Nakima Mole box. What would you guys do? Pickled herring? Okay, time to bring out the Golf Blaster Green. Epic name for paint. Golf Blaster. Maybe the most epic or the most silly name for paint. I'm not sure. And these are going to be small highlights to really make this fence pop. Like we don't want to cover up much of the earlier paints at all. Yeah, surströmming as noxious Nephilim. Noxious, that was what it's called, right? Thank you. What's that smell? Your opponent will ask. Oh, it's just my pickled herring. It's a noxious Nephilim. And that might not be popular at game night. But it's thematic. I actually never had surströmming. It's infamous Swedish food or Scandinavian food or whatever. It's kind of like heavily pickled herring or almost rotten herring. Yuck. Name surströmming means sour herring. Low tide Nephilim. Yeah. I know you watch The Witcher season 2. I thought it was pretty good. Especially really like the episode with Nevelyn, the boar cursed character. The Expanse finale. Oh, I want to see that. Yeah. I haven't seen that one yet. I really like The Expanse. It's a little strange that it's the possibly last season. Unless the series gets continued, like someone else buys it and continues it. Because I know it's not the last book in the series. But I've heard that it works as a last season, which is nice, so it won't be strange if it doesn't get continued. But like The Expanse has changed how do you say it? changed hands several times, right? I think. I spoke earlier in the stream about having recently read Dune and Dune Messiah. I really like sci-fi. It's a fine ending. Last season is far more people in space stuff than wonky alien stuff, which I prefer. Okay, cool. People in space stuff. I can go for some of that. I really like the Belter captain. What's she called? I forget. She's really cool. I've been pondering reading those books. And yeah, Kim said she really likes Dune. I've been pondering reading the Expanse books, but like starting a series is always a little intimidating for me. When reading Dune, I didn't really have the intention of reading more than the first book. Now I ended up reading two, but I think it can be really intimidating with all these very long series. Also watched this is turning into what have you watched? Also watched Netflix's Arcane, much to the chagrin of my Dota loving girlfriend. Uh, and it was pretty good. I mean, like, it's not very original. Like, the story is very cliche, or unoriginal at least. You always kind of know what's going to happen, but it was really well made and very good looking. Animation is superb. Sometimes it gets a bit cheesy with like edgy, cool song and slow mo, but yeah. It's fun reading classics where you know they've inspired a lot of other stuff coming after them. Uh, like Dune. Almost dropped my brush. Trying to make this tail fin look pretty shiny. Apparently by licking the brush. That's how we do it. Okay, so now let's paint the tongue. And it's been painted Mephiston red, but I'm gonna now highlight it with Mephiston red plus a little bit of like Reaper Rosy Skin. And then some more Rosy Skin. And then let's paint those nails. I think we're gonna base coat them. I don't recall how I did the siblings claws exactly. I think we're gonna paint them Steel Agent Drab, and then highlight that up a bit. Might do a bit of a black line in between those nails and fingers. You guys in the chat, do you have any? What's your favorite book? What's your favorite novel? I'm curious. One of my favorites is Let the Right. I think maybe if I had to pick one favorite, it would be the Swedish kind of horror book, Let the Right One In, which has been adapted to film, both a Swedish and an American one. Though the film adaptations lose a little bit of the queer element of the original, the novel. There's a bit of a queer element to it. Rick says, my 4-year-old daughter just walked by and made a comment. What a cute mermaid. Oh. Yeah. She's really cute, ain't she? That's very sweet of your daughter. Tell her I said thank you. I'm painting the teeth in this color too. Outsiders is my favorite book. Cool. I have to look that up. House of Leaves. Nice. I should make a list of these. Well, maybe just 2 items doesn't make for a list, but we might get more. Playwords, Kim says, that is the book I need only experience once about House of Leaves. Is it a scary book? Is it disturbing? Strange and intense. Cool. That's nice. I'll have to look them up, both of them. suffocating. No, that's a great feeling. It's one of the few times that, maybe the only time I've been told, like, yeah, doing a Google image search and we'll see what the book is about. That's interesting. Young adult novel, class struggles in the 60s. Interesting. Cyclonopedia Complicity. A book that is resistant to reading. A book that really demands a lot of the reader. I played Inscription lately. That's a very cool video game. Deck builder, point and click adventure, found footage, something. Very strange. Okay, so let's highlight the teeth with an off-white. We used the Steel Agent Drab just to have a little bit of a color variation and like a little shadow near to the lips. Oops. I say lips and immediately put white paint on the lips. Oops. But yeah. Highlighting these cloths with the same off-white. Making them really bright to draw the eye to these scary claws. And let's highlight the rope with some bright khaki, kind of bleached bone paint. Little dots. need to make a little thin line there to separate the rope from the rest of the mini. There we go. And hello again, Spiredine. What's your favorite novel? I asked the chat what their favorite novel was, and Kim said The Outsiders, and Viduk said House of Leaves, and the construction recommended Cyclonopedia. Also, Viduk's daughter thought this was a very cute mermaid, so that's a win. And I think maybe my favorite novel is Let the Right One In, or Låt den rätta komma in. I'm not sure. I really like it though. Tremble and Despair. Now that's ominous. The Shepherd's Crown. Are both two books, or did you just want me to tremble and despair in general? Let's paint the eyes red. Went for orange eyes with these as a contrast to the cold colors of most of them. And therefore, I first want to paint the eyes red. You want everyone to tremble and despair in your wake. It's dramatic. Imagine if you had like a very dramatic theme song. Whenever you enter the room, you got like the Imperial March or something. I guess you can arrange that. Or a little stereo or something. I think it's more like where Spiredine has been, you know? It's more of a metaphorical wake. The Shepherd's Crown. Cool. I should make a list. Although I'm not making a list right now because maybe that makes for boring boring content, you know. And orange paint. The eyes to be kind of fiery almost. So bright orange. The Lost Discworld novel. Oh, okay. I had trouble getting into Discworld actually. Though I did enjoy the films. And now highlighting the eyes with yellow, and one of the eyes turn out to it just turned into a yellow eye. I want it to be orange. Oops. So, was Shepherd's Crown written? Was it like one of the last books that Pratchett wrote? Time to make base. Are you making bases? Or are you telling me to make a base? Are we done with this mini? Maybe. Done enough. Passing the torch. Okay, cool. Could be cleaner, but looks pretty good, I think. So we got the siblings. All grown up. They're so beautiful and so strong. I'm so proud. Oh shit. That sounds powerful. His way of processing he will die of his Alzheimer's. Oh. Sorry about your mom. Don't know how long ago this was, but like that's something. I don't know what that's like, but it is one of the scariest things I can imagine. So maybe I brighten up her tummy a little bit. Nobody close to me has ever really died. Nobody I was close with, which is strange. It's gonna happen, of course. This shadow is perhaps a little dark. Smack the camera around there again, I'm sorry. My tummy's speaking it quite a lot. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get picked up in the mic, but I don't know. It has a lot of things to say, apparently. Before it was a cat, now it is a tummy. Possibly, yeah. So the cat was mostly complaining that I didn't throw her the little ball. Food is her most frequent complaint, but she wanted to play catch, and we did play catch. I want that to be known. She just wanted to play more. Yeah, so I think maybe she's done. It's good enough. Maybe a tiny highlight here on the cheek. It's often worth doing that extra little highlight on the face since it's the most important part of most miniatures. So Spiridine, how many Kirai models do you have left to paint now? Painted quite a lot of them, right? Oops, sorry. Um, mm, mm, mm. Maybe brighten up the inside here. Looks a little dark. I didn't really highlight that part. One enslaved and finish this guizin. Okay, and then some leftover for the other side. I see. Okay, cool. So these minis just need basing. Undersea bases. Does Deep need to know more about the Yaksha we talked about during Gen Con? The Yaksha, that was the upcoming spirit, right? Yeah, I wonder when we'll hear more about them. You fishing for leads from Kim? Yeah, the upcoming Court of Two model. Heh, get it? Fishing? Heh. You would never know. Yeah. I'm sorry for even suggesting such a thing. Okay, so now that miniature is done too. Finishing up a lot of loose ends this stream. Oh, Kim says, I got a word on me that prevents me from knowing if I know any information like that. Wow, meta. Yes, 15. So let's paint some other mini in the meantime. So we got this one. Next time we're gonna start on Ivan, but right now, yeah, on the table I have this one. And it's a huckster. So why not? Let's just keep painting. Just gonna 20-minute speed paint, yeah. I'm not gonna finish it, but why not just keep painting a little bit, you know? It's a mixed bag of goodies today. Whilst next stream will be focused on our Shadow Master. Well, second Shadow Master. English Ivan. So I'm base coating this skin with Reaper Rosy Shadow. Very nice, honest looking salesman. I love the hucksters. I love just going, hey, want to buy something? And then doing a sales pitch to the anime model. And I know one time I was like, well, I ended up with a soulstone, and my opponent ended up with a 13 in his hand. I'm not sure if this was good. Yeah, we can play catch soon. Okay, see you, Virak. Nice of you to pop by. Hucksters are cool. So this miniature was given a Zenithal undercoat. Like sprayed black and then sprayed with grays from above with an airbrush. You can do it with a rattle can too. You just might get, you can get a smoother finish with an airbrush. It's pretty good to get like an idea of where to place the highlights or to lay some groundwork. To work off. Like I haven't had an airbrush for really long, but we're becoming better and better friends. Also started playing around with oil washes, and that's a whole lot of fun. Like I did it on oil wash on this guy, Desperado. Desperado. Laro. I can't pronounce it. And like over gray, and then wiped off like a heavy oil wash, and gives a cool grimy effect, all dirty. And I'm not sure. We'll see how dirty I want this crew to look, but yeah. Brown shadows over gray clothes. Looks really cool. Welsh Ivan. Yeah. Scotch Ivan. 15? My cat can be quite persistent. Apparently we don't talk about Scotch Ivan. My tummy just keeps on rumbling. We don't talk about Ivan. Is that an ear? Yeah, I think so. Things you say when you paint miniatures. Is that an ear? No. I think we're gonna paint the hair and Steel Legion drab. It is generally better, yeah. It reminds me of the film Brain Dead. That disgusting soup eating scene. No, it's not soup. It's custard. Airing and all. I like Branded. There was also something I really like. A New Zealand accent. There's just something about them saying "Picada" and that accent that just probably not nailing it exactly, but it's just very satisfying for some reason. Picada. Picada? Oh. I've not seen Meet the Feebles actually. No. Maybe I should. Brain Dead is the only non-Tolkien Peter Jackson film I've seen, I think. Okay, so let's do a flesh wash in this. Yeah, Brain Dead is a lot of fun. It's got an alternate title too, right? Doesn't it? That game. Those are my paints. I use them for work. Leave them alone. Dead Alive. Yeah, I think you're correct. Some using Reikland Flesh Shade to give some quick shading and to add some warmth to the shadows of the skin. I guess we might want the skin underneath the robes to be a little colder though, so we could paint that a little, some bluer, greener tones later. But I like a good flesh wash. Flesh wash. It's always just sounded a bit strange to say. So an hour after this stream, we've got Haunted, who's gonna paint. So if you want some more miniature painting action, you can look forward to that. It's never seemed great too bright to highlight this with. Yeah. one. In between color. Where did the in between color go? There. So this miniature was sprayed zenithal with Dark Reaper, and then a little bit with Fenrisian Gray, just light Fenrisian Gray spray from directly above. And I'm gonna work on these highlights with some rust gray. And could just do very thin edge highlights on this and it would look very good, but I want to do a little bit more on that. Got some very nice folds in this one. It's very easy to follow. Might also want to do like sort of staggered highlights to because we want the cloak to look worn. Like this guy doesn't really have the nicest clothing. It's a shady fellow. We're following along these ridges, but we're breaking it up a little bit with like some uneven lines. Which is pretty fun to do. Oh, yeah. Well, if it's any help, you could always look at the YouTube video where I paint Mishappen. I'm also kind of curious to see Mishappen with just water effects and without the base insert. Maybe just add lily pads of your own. Flowers. Water lilies. It'd be cool to see. I had a lot of fun painting the water on that one. So we can play soon. Anyway, we're going to be wrapping this stream up. It's been a nice little mix of miniatures with painted Misaki Fractured and an Abyssal Reaver, and now we're just brushing away happily on a Huckster. Oh, did the script malfunction? Or is it exclamation mark Elinore? No, it's Sybarite, right? Well, that's all right. If you want to see more stuff I've done, you can go to instagram.com/Sybarite_painting. Also got a little YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/Sybarite_painting. And if you want to see 2D art I've done, you can go to anotherillustrator.com. And if you are wondering about anything, if you feel like you need some painting advice, don't hesitate to shoot me a message on the weird Discord or wherever you find me, like on my Instagrams, and I'll help you as best I can. So it's been super fun having wow, I'm tired. It's been super fun hanging out with you guys as usual. Thanks for dropping by, and hope you enjoyed painting along or chatting along with me. And I'll see you guys next Thursday, where we will be painting the lovely gentleman English Ivan. And yeah, as said earlier, if you're eager to see more painting, want to keep hanging out on Twitch, Haunted is on in an hour. So be sure to drop by then too, if you got the time. Thanks for today, everyone. See you. Bye-bye.